Hey YouTube, Shuken Shinobi here with a review of the Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger Gokai Machine Series 04 Fuuraimaru. Based on Fuuraimaru from Ninpuu Sentai Hurricaneger. So, the box is very reminiscent of Senpuujin and Company with the whole rocky terrain and they're standing there looking all epic. Shadow picture back there. Really cool picture right there that I've grown accustomed to loving. Formation. How everything works back here, there, and the same picture back there. So it's a pretty small box because he is a pretty tiny little fellow. He is much bigger than he was in Hurricaneger and much greener. I think that means he is now approved to be environmentally friendly. I prefer to stand him without the shurikens out. He just looks more coherent like this, I think. But officially he's like this with the shurikens out. But I prefer him to just have them closed so he is like a normal, not human being because he's almost a Zord. A mecha obviously, but oh well. So he has a little bit of articulation. It's pretty much just arms up and down, and then he's got a little bit in the shoulder here. Nothing in the legs. I mean, there's a tiny bit of movement, but that's not official or anything. Back here we have his giant shuriken weapon pinwheel of death with the Gokaiger logo on it. And there is his cool little face. So like, hey, I'm Fuuraimaru. I'm Mini Zord. Woo! So yeah, for those of you who aren't familiar with Hurricaneger, Fuuraimaru is Mini Zord in Ninja Storm. So, there's certain design cues. His helmet's pretty much the same. He's still got the crescent moon and sun sort of deal going on here. Even though that took up a majority of Fuuraimaru in the original release. But, he is pretty cool. I mean, show accuracy, he is pretty damn accurate in this mode. I'll go over that later. And gimmick-wise, I mean, all he really has is he's got the pop-out shurikens on his feet down here. And then pop-out shurikens here that he can't really use and makes him look very derpy. So that is why officially he is like this when he's attacking. Looks a little bit more coherent this way. And that is all he really does because he can't hold his giant pinwheel. But we'll go over that in a second. So for the giant pinwheel, you just pop this off and stand him back here. And he can tip over, that's cool too. So when you untab this, it spins. And I hope that looks as cool on camera as it just did. Oh, that's pretty awesome looking. Thank you, camera. But anyway, that's all it does is spin. To get it to lock, line up the tab wherever it is. Right there, and then push this down. It doesn't lock in that good. All you have to do is wiggle it out. But it locks decent enough to function. And then that just pegs right in back there, and voila. So obviously he can combine with Gokai-Oh to make Hurricane Gokaioh. So you're going to want to dismantle him entirely. Set the pinwheel aside, pop his arms off. Put in those tabs, pop his leg off, pull down that tab, leg off, tab down. And then this is going to have to curl up a little bit, I think kind of like this. But we'll worry about that when we start plugging things in. So let's bring in Gokai-Oh. We'll start down here and then we'll work our way up. Obviously, you are going to have to take off the hat. I'm doing that right now. Hat is off. And then take the cannon out of him. I did that previously, so the cannon's not in there. But make sure the cannon's out, obviously. So just match these up. Paint goes right here. Other leg goes in yellow. Close that up. These are pretty tight fits. I don't know why these fits are so tight compared to other Gokai machines, but whatever. Blue. Close that. Green. Close that. And then this will peg in right here. Right up there. And then just like that. And that will close. No, that's not right. Let's try like that. Okay, so we are finally ready to do this. So we're going to push him back as far as he can. We can try to get everything. And I'm going to take the swords off. Just so I can scoot him back a little bit further. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up the camera in order to do this properly. So, ready to view this in 1, 2, 3. Everything worked. Holy crap. So let's set that back down. The only thing you're going to have to do after the fact is peg right there to right there. So that just pegs right in, and then fold these panels outward. And there you go. So we're going to take off his crotch piece, just because that's not necessary in the slightest. And so here we have Hurricane Gokaioh. There is a look at his head right up there. Very much like Senpuujin's head, with a coloring similar to Tenkuujin, if I'm remembering the Hurricaneger names right. The Samurai Star Megazord was what I was going for. Shurikens popping out right there, and then little tiny ones popping out down there. Overall, very green in appearance. And he does look pretty cool. There are some flaws, though, of course. However, he does have an additional weapon in the form of the pinwheel. So, we can give him that. Just like that. So now he's got a cool little pinwheel to work with as well. So the issues I have are mainly in there. If you see Hurricane Gokaioh on the show, he's got a very large chest. Not in that way, but in the format that the Hurricaneger logo takes up the majority of the middle of the chest, whereas the way the toy is designed, it got horribly shrunk down, and now there's this massive pit inside of his chest. So, I don't know, I just think it looks really bad. If there was something to fill in that gap, I think he would look a lot better. His head sculpt's pretty good. And everything else is pretty accurate, but just this empty chest cavity is just kind of really a letdown compared to how pretty awesome it looks on the show. So if you're a stickler for show accuracy, you probably won't get as much of a kick out of this. But if you can look past that, it is a pretty cool Gokai machine. Not as cool as Gal Lion it was, or Mock Falcon's probably going to be. But it's still pretty cool, and it's up to opinion on whether you think it's cooler than Magi Dragon or Pat Striker. Personally, I think it is because he gets a cool new head. But the chest thing still really does bother me. It's just so empty and not there. But it does look pretty awesome all around, and kind of really hoping we get a Super Robot Chogokin somehow of this formation. That'd be pretty awesome. So let's just go ahead and reform Fuuraimaru while I discuss. Is he worth it? I think so. If you're a Gokai fan, obviously you've been following everything so far. You probably own most of these toys. If you... A little bug just landed on my arm. If you don't particularly like him, obviously he's an easy skip if you don't like him. But other than that, I think he is pretty much worth it. He's very easy to obtain. He's still in stock on AmiAmi last time I checked. So he really isn't hard to find at all. But if you can't find him for some reason, then I don't really know what to tell you. But everywhere I checked pretty much has him in stock, readily available if you do want to purchase him. I think he's worth it, like I said. I like I haven't seen Hurricaneger, but I'm sure I will like it when I view it. I love Ninja Storm. I've always liked Mini-Zords, so having a new, updated, environmentally friendly, I suppose, Fuuraimaru is pretty cool, and it was a pretty nice choice in terms of what toy to make. So the formation's pretty cool. The lack of show accuracy kind of does bother me, especially compared to how well the other two actually come across. It's just kind of a letdown in the end of things. But overall, I think it's a pretty good buy, and you really can't go too wrong unless the chest thing just really does bother you as much as it bothers me. But I still like him. Fuuraimaru, Mini-Zord. Awesome. So, you can check out a written review of sorts at shukunshomi.com for all these news and updates on my reviews. And, of course, check out writersnewsandrebels.com. While you're there, please check out the RAM boards and discuss all the latest happenings. So, take care and have a great one. Bye.